Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing today? Welcome to the Chelsea Unfiltered Show. Welcome to the channel, KH No Filter Football. It is with great admiration and blessings that I have the honor of having this man come to the channel. Huge fan of his content. I think most of you guys are as well. I would hope most of you guys are. If you haven't already checked him out, you should. You're sleeping under a rock. But the man, the Miz, the legend, is back here on Occasional for the Football. Let's give Miz a round of applause. There we go. I mispressed the button, but I got it this time. Miz, my man. Oh, it's so great to have you back. Last time we had you here was like over a year ago. We had a great discussion. It was fantastic. And I know your time is limited today, so whenever you gotta go, just feel free to head out. But how you been, man? Your channel's grown significantly since the last time we spoke, man. You've been grinding.
Yeah, man. First of all, thank you so much for that intro. I mean, look, I'm just an ordinary human being, man. There's nothing special about me. I love having conversations with you guys. Last summer,
you're not proper Chelsea? What?
last summer, Andrew was on my channel quite a lot because the Haaland news and
oh my God,
Hakim news, whole heap of stuff was blowing up, and we got none of them. So, pretty much the case that's happening this particular summer.
Oh my God!
But look, I'm glad to be here. I love having a conversation with you guys. Special shout out to everyone in the live chat. Make sure you smash the like button, get those likes up. I just need to reiterate how important it is for the growth of any channel, the likes. So it's hugely correlated with the algorithm that works in the background. So smash the like button. I'm sure you guys are going to have a stupendous episode here. So yeah, can't wait.
It's going to be fantastic. Like I said, we love Miz here. Miz is a favorite amongst us. Andrew, how you doing, my man?
All good.
And did you mute yourself? Oh, there you go. It crackles a little, but I mean, it goes away over time.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're not great. Yeah, I'm all good, man. I've been very relaxed this week. Not freaking out.
Nice.
You know, I didn't freak out. I've not freaked out this window, actually. I've been very relaxed. What's
crazy is I'm glad you've kept relaxed because we did a show Wednesday and we thought it was peak. And then the snowball just started to get bigger and bigger. And now there's a complete, like, we have to take back things we said and stuff. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Real Chris, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, like Andrew, I had a nice week. Today, nice hot day. Getting tired of my training preseason match. So, yeah, it's been good.
Training preseason, just like Chelsea. You're in there, in the bleachers.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls, we're just going to go ahead and get the show started. You guys already know what to do. Press all the buttons, send in your super chats, your super thanks, like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Let's get this show on the road, people. First topic, Ronaldo leaving United. Ronaldo has requested to leave Man United. And let's get some tweets here that have popped up that we're going to read. First of all, the man... Fabrizio Romano, Cristiano Ronaldo told Man United he wants to leave this summer as he wants to see more ambition. Man United are still hopeful of keeping CR7, but aware of his decision. Cristiano has no agreement with any other club. Mendes explored options for weeks and will continue, which we already know. He has spoken to Todd Boehly about the idea of Ronaldo. Another tweet from Fabrizio, I guess detailing more of the situation with Ronaldo. CR7 likes Ten Hag, but asked to leave also because he wanted new signings. United insists he's not for sale as they want him to stay. And then Mendes will push again with many clubs, PSG not working on it. So I guess PSG is not involved with the talks. As far as clubs involved, I believe Bayern has said no, but Chelsea is in that conversation, and then there's another club, maybe Barcelona.
Sporting as well. They were saying Sporting Lisbon back.
Oh yeah, Sporting, the club he came from. Yeah, I could definitely see that. And then David Ornstein, Cristiano Ronaldo has told Man United he wants to leave this summer. As Duncan Castle reports, 37-year-old said to love the club, which I can totally see that being real, but wants to play Champions League, top flight for top honors in final stages of career. Oh, Napoli was the other club. Doesn't feel likely. Man United FC, Napoli among suitors. So I guess earlier in the month we discussed how we thought the whole Ronaldo links was just kind of like headliners, just extravaganza for the sake of, you know, clicks and stuff. Just because they simply said that they had talked about Ronaldo. George Mendes had talked to Boli about Ronaldo, and I was of the belief that maybe Boli was there to discuss João Felix and many other Portuguese players that are under his, I guess, his signings. But Ronaldo leaving, and now there's being some links with Chelsea. Chelsea running out of players, because we'll discuss this later. Dembele and Raphina looking more likely they're going to Barcelona, and Barcelona, quite frankly, just taking everyone. But Miz, what are your thoughts on this Ronaldo possibility to Chelsea? And you said it yourself as well, possibly on a loan deal.
Yeah, look, before we get to the Chelsea situation, I think let's try and make sense of whether, you know, Ronaldo leaving Man United is that a possibility. 100% it is. I think ever since last season finished, and the way it finished, the fact that they didn't make it to the Champions League, I simply cannot picture, and I'm pretty sure you guys can't either, how he plays in Europa League. Like Cristiano Ronaldo playing in the Europa League, and his biggest rival, Messi, plays in the Champions League. I mean, Ronaldo's always been about the headline. There's no way he's going to be headlining in Europa. So
that'll definitely hurt his ego.
Regardless of what Ronaldo has been saying, that look, yeah, fine, I'll stay. At the end of last season, he was saying I'll stay. On top of that, to compound all of that issues, you know, the fact that they're in Europa League is they're not really lighting it up in the transfer window either, much like us. But at least we have some sort of a structure. They've just got in a new manager, and they're really struggling. They can't even seem to get the Frankie de Jong deal over the line on a player that actually doesn't even want to join them. That's simple as that. Frankie de Jong simply does not want to go to Man United. It seems like he's getting forced to go there. So from all of that scenario, Ronaldo is just a bit peeved off with everything that's going on, and he wants to leave. So I think it makes sense that he wants to leave. Now, in regards to the Chelsea situation, it's very interesting that Mr. Todd Bowley had a conversation with George Mendes about a week ago. Now, the reports from David Onsen and Matt Law, by the way, David Onsen apparently has that tweet pinned to his profile. I'm not really sure. Someone was saying that he's got that tweet pinned.
Actually, I think I did see it pinned. Yeah,
which kind of tells you, why are you pinning such a tweet? Like, there's like got some substance to it. Is that why you're pinning it? So the story is that apparently the conversation wasn't all about Cristiano Ronaldo. They were trying to create a relationship with agents and the owner and whatnot. And I know George Mendes has a lot of other players listed in his catalog that we could potentially be interested about down the track. But I can't help to think that surely this Ronaldo situation would have been talked in detail, because the fact that Ronaldo wants to leave. Yeah. Now, who else can give him Champions League football? He's certainly not going to Liverpool. He's certainly not going to Manchester City. They've all been locked up with new strikers. In the Premier League, Tottenham is out of the question at the moment. They've already set up their front line. Newcastle, I highly doubt. They don't have Champions League anyway. In Italy, he's done that. Juventus he would have maybe entertained, but besides that, I don't think any other clubs. AC Milan, Inter Milan are quite settled as well. Napoli, I highly doubt. Yes. Do they have Champions League, Napoli?
It's Enter, AC, and I think they do.
Last season.
I think they do. I think maybe they do.
Wait, no.
I just can't.
Is it Roma?
No. Roma
Roma came like 6th or 7th.
They won the trophy, but yeah.
Yeah. So I can't see how it's Napoli. PSG have already ruled themselves out because they're having to pay monster wages for Kylian Mbappe. And they're also in talks about Neymar, which we'll talk about very soon. So it's not that either. So that pretty much leaves Chelsea Football Club the only possible destination, unless he goes to Sporting Lisbon in his home country, which I don't think he's ready to do that as yet. I think Cristiano Ronaldo is in such physical stature he's probably fitter than some 25, 26-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? Like his physique in terms of, what he can still put out. So he probably still thinks he's quite good at a high level. From that sense, don't be surprised. He's got 1 year left at Man United. Man United don't want to let him go. They've categorically come out and said he's not for sale. And they're actually quite angry that Todd Bowley's had a conversation with George Mendes about this particular player. Cristiano Ronaldo, the name, he's a brand. If he wants to force a move, he will force a move. And as I said, don't be surprised if Man United has to bend over backwards on this particular situation and have to just let him go on a loan. And then, the contract obviously expires at the end of the 12 months. And Chelsea come in and say, look, let's do a negotiation. We'll pay you a small loan fee. You're going to have to take the L, much like we took the L for Lukaku. And you're going to have to do something in regards to the salary as well. We'll pay his salary. He's on high wages. There's no way we're going to be paying that level of wages for Ronaldo. So this could be a possibility. I definitely think. Do I want it? It doesn't make sense to me, boys, because the way Thomas Tuchel plays his front three, it's a fluid front three. How is Ronaldo going to press from front? And if you want Ronaldo to press, I'm telling you, he will probably not play week in, week out. He may play one game, then he'll have a couple of weeks off. Because at the end of the day, he's 37, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't have him press non-stop the way Thomas Tuchel wants to play high up. Is he going to bang in goals for us? You best believe he will. Every opportunity that Timo Werner, that Hakim Ziyech, Romelu Lukaku, Kai Havertz, all of those players got last season, Cristiano Ronaldo is putting them away. In a bad team like Man United, he was their top scorer, I believe, with 18 Premier League goals or
Saved them
like
from
that?
multiple losses too.
Yeah, single-handedly at times. Single-handedly. My issue is, in Chelsea Football Club, there could be games where he could single-handedly help us, but you do need a creator to help him out as well. You do need to feed him. If you don't feed him, Cristiano is not in that level anymore back in the Man United early days and the Real Madrid days where he can create and score. He's now more of a poacher up front where, you're going to get clinicality. So to wrap this whole situation up, even though Thomas Tuchel might not fancy this because this is probably not his profile or his type of player. Right now, we have no one to replace Lukaku, and I don't want to move into the new season with just Havertz and Broha. Like, for me, that scares me. As much as I believe in those players, for me, that's light moving into the new season with Armando Broha and Kai Havertz being the front line. You can even throw in Timo Werner, and that doesn't really improve the situation much either. So he may just think, look, on a short term, 12 months until the market opens for next summer, we see what the strikers are available at that time. Maybe, boys, this could just happen.
I was gonna,
Go for it, Chris.
Okay, I was gonna say, debating have Ronaldo in his team, but we're gonna have a big season ahead of us, the World Cup, and even 5 subs introduced with the squad. Kai Havertz looks like he's trying to learn the striker role, so maybe them two will be rotational. So it'd be okay for Ronaldo to have time off or whatever, not time off, but bench and comes on. So I think it could work, and I would love to see Ronaldo in this squad. Like, we do need a clinical scorer. Lukaku, was time off, and I was thinking as well. Reece James, he's good at his crossing. Ronaldo's good at heading. So I'm thinking maybe if Reece James stays fit, he can get a bunch of assists, and Ronaldo probably gets a bunch of goals from it. So I was thinking maybe that type of
That's a
way
good talk. That's seriously a good talk, by the way. Yeah, Reece James to Ronaldo, and also Chris, the whole marketing side of things. Imagine if none of you guys would buy CR7 jersey for Chelsea.
I would
100%.
pissed off my brother. My brother's a United fan. I
I
literally
worry
go
about
meet
the
him up.
Kante stands. Worry about the Kante stands. With their guy number 7.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
I was listening to TalkSport earlier today, and Ben Jacobson's on there. He's obviously blown up over the last few weeks, months.
Oh, yeah.
He was saying that Miss just said that Tuchel doesn't think Ronaldo would work in his system, and I'm just thinking, I don't know if he doesn't want him to work in his system. I don't think it's a good idea for the for the new owners to buy someone who the manager doesn't want, no matter what they can bring, something like that. Now, that may change. I don't know, but I think the managers have the owners have backed themselves into a corner because I think they used the wrong word. They shouldn't have used this word marquee signing because the fans are now thinking of a Neymar and Ronaldo, and they've backed themselves into a corner because as great as I think Sterling is, under the guise of marquee, he wouldn't be seen as a marquee signing. Okay, so I think they backed themselves into a corner where it's one of those two guys they're gonna have to try and bring in. Listen. There was a fantastic tweet by Europa League today where they said he's not going anywhere.
I saw that.
Picture of Ronaldo. It's one of the best tweets you've ever seen. It's fantastic. They were playing into it. But listen, I don't know, man. I really don't know. You know what? This might be one that happens on the final day of the transfer window or something like that, where we see that Ronaldo goes to Chelsea. It really depends. Also, how does he see Amanda Broha? Does he want to keep him? And does he want to keep him? If not, he'll be sold. We're really then only left with Kai Havertz as a striker, or the central forward striker. And if we want to get the best out of Raheem Sterling, we've seen him. He works best with an actual figurehead up front, like Aguero and everything like that. We've seen last couple of years where they haven't had that. Well, while he scored the goals, he hasn't scored the most amount of goals he's ever scored.
That's a good point.
I think it's either going to be. It has to be that sort of centralised striker. As much as I bag on Kai for his finishing, which I think he deserves, because he needs to work on that. A player like that who's centralised will help a Raheem Sterling. But you know what? I'm open-minded. Do you know why? We have no idea how this regime is going to work. Okay, we know under the old regime that Marina would never touch this deal with a barge pole. She would never do it. Yeah. Let me rephrase that because I'm a big Marina support. The board would never touch this with a barge pole. Yeah, they would never do it. I'm open-minded. I don't particularly want Neymar because I don't know if his mindset is completely right at the moment in time. But you know what? I'm open-minded to think if he comes, I won't be surprised now. But I'm just thinking, I don't know, man. If the reports come out, if we get more reports that Tuchel doesn't want him, then I don't want to force a player on a manager that the coach doesn't want. So,
Andrew, but do you feel what you just said about Amanda Broha as well? I'm pretty certain. I don't want this guy to go. Like, I think he's got a huge future. He's got the skill set to be a superstar. But if someone like Newcastle comes in and puts in big money in terms of 35 to 40 million for a young striker who's got still a lot to prove, I think Chelsea will just say, do you know what, that's good money, 35, 40 million, we'll probably just take that. And on what you just said, if that's the case, we're moving in with Kai Havertz. But let's say that's not the case. Kai Havertz and Amanda Broha, would you be scared to just move in with the season, just those two? Because I can't see us linked with any other front, like sort of forward player. So I think Tuchel would be really, really, under trouble if he goes in with that kind of lineup. He would have to think twice, even though he doesn't want Ronaldo.
Yeah, I agree. I'm all right with selling these players if they have a buyback clause. They think they're going to ball out, then in 2 years' time, a reasonable buyback clause, not the Tammy Abraham buyback clause, which is like £70 million or something like that, but like a 40, 45 million or something like that, because I'm fine with that, because that's how it should be done. If you think that the youngster's going to fall out, but you don't want to put them in your side yet, send them out, sell them, but put a buyback. That's what we've got on Livramento. See how he returns from the ACL, because that's a big factor. But we put it on him, put it on all of them. If we sell Gallagher or Gilmore this summer, I don't really particularly want to sell Gallagher. I think there's a lot of upside. But if we sell Gilmore, put a buyback clause on him. Stuff like that. That's what we should have done. Gertie, put a buyback clause on him, but we haven't done that. But I think you're right. I don't know who else we're linked to. We're not linked to anyone else, striker-wise. It's very weird.
We tried getting with Charlton, but we failed on that.
Lord.
I'm glad we failed on that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
We did talk about that last week.
Yes.
Speaking on Ronaldo and the attack, I might as well bring this into the conversation too, and we can have a discussion about the mix of both of them. But Neymar now looking like Chelsea's only option. And like Andrew said before, this word usage of marquee signing leads us to believe that it's very possible that one of these two could come to the club and they could be the marquee signing, unless they're referring to Raheem Sterling as a marquee signing, which I think that's a little over the top to be calling Raheem Sterling a marquee signing. But let's just say we do get Ronaldo and we bring in Neymar. Is that something you boys think would work? Because I agree 100% on, and I was going to bring that up, having Raheem Sterling, which is more than likely going to happen, and then if we just get Raheem Sterling, I don't think we have the attack to supplement and get the most out of Raheem Sterling. Definitely having a Ronaldo, though, I feel like that would change the game because, like Andrew said, when Sterling was playing with Aguero, we saw probably with the best of Sterling. So, I mean, Miz, what do you think? If this were to happen, do you think this works? Do you think there's too many egos in the locker room? Yeah, I mean, there are, but
there's a
take it away,
lot of
man.
egos, man. There's a lot of
Yeah.
egos. One thing you'll best believe, Stamford Bridge is gonna be rocking with Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar. There'll be parties all over the world. Everyone, it'll be like a celebration. Can you imagine Ronaldo and Neymar at Chelsea Football Club? Probably not at the right age. We would have loved it if it was 10 years ago. But look, as much as we've just entertained the Ronaldo thought, I'm actually now very much on board with the Neymar situation. I'll tell you why. Initially, I wasn't. Initially, I was like, nah, it's got to be Dembele. That was my first choice. Osman Dembele. He's the up-and-coming, superstar, both-footed, 1v1, explosive pace. He will create chaos. He will create a lot of chances. We just need to make sure that we have brothers that can put the goals away. Osman Dembele wants to stay at Barcelona. Then we talked about Raphina. Raphina categorically wants to stay at Barcelona. So much so, he said, I'm willing to stay at Leeds one more season if need be. I just want Barcelona. I don't want Chelsea Football Club. And he's even apparently, it's been said that to his agent Deco, stop all conversations with Chelsea, please. I don't want to go there. So we can't force a player. If you don't want to come here, that's fine. Stay where stay where you are or go where you need to go.
Yeah.
Once those two players have been taken out, I don't know who else we're linked with. We're not really linked with any other wingers. As much as we want to throw names, Anthony from Ajax, we're not linked with him. Man United is, and apparently Man United's not getting him anyway. Should we be linked with him? I don't know. So some people are saying he'll find it difficult to adapt initially. I threw the name out Jared Bowen from West Ham because he was playing tremendously well the last couple of seasons for West Ham. But some people are still not convinced that he can create enough. And then besides that, there's not, Nkunku, he's just signed a contract extension with Red Bull Leipzig and his release clause kicks in, I think, end of next season. So there's that option gone. Neymar is at a particular situation where I think PSG, from all the rumors that's going around, they don't want him around anymore. They think he's a bad apple, he's creating issues, he needs to go. Issue is, financially, he's got 5 more seasons with PSG.
Just up to date.
On 1st of July, before 30th of June, he had 4 years. 1st of July, an automatic 1-year extension kicked in. So now he's got 5. PSG are saying, look, we are even willing to let this player go on a loan, give us some sort of a loan fee, and we'll cover majority of his wages. So from that perspective, I'm thinking, we need a creator. We need a player that's going to really rattle the opposition, low blocks, even against high-profile games, Champions League nights. We need a player that's going to be able to create over and over and over. As much as I love Mason Mount, and I really do, I just get annoyed when I see on Twitter, look at all the assists, all the open play chances he's created, all this, all that.
Can't stand that stuff.
He's not a genuine creator. He's a number 8. He's a workaholic. He's an absolute workhorse. I love him. He needs to be in the team. But Neymar he's in a different planet in terms of creation, vision, passing, his scoring sense as well. So from that perspective, I would love to have Neymar. But there's a huge caveat. Neymar, in the last few seasons, has barely played enough matches in the league. Injuries are a concern. How do you manage that? Some are saying he didn't have the greatest relationship with Tuchel. Some are saying he actually did. I'm in the boat where I'm thinking, Tuchel knows him, and Neymar has been quoted to say, "I'll go to war for Thomas Tuchel," recently. So, look, I think this would make sense, man. I mean, if we don't add anyone up front, and it's Armando Broja and Kai Havertz, Sterling, probably Pulisic will stick around, and Neymar, I think he will feed them all. He will literally feed them all, and we can look at him as a sporadic kind of player. He doesn't have to play all matches. We don't need him to play all matches. Play the Champions League nights, play the high profile matches. You don't necessarily have to play every single match for us, so that we don't because he will be targeted in the Premier League. He will absolutely be targeted, be crunched in the Premier League. So we have to manage him from that perspective. He is 30 as well, much younger than Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously. 30. I feel like he's got a lot to give. He could possibly try something different, but financially it has to make sense, because there's no way you're paying 700k per week euros to this particular player to come into Chelsea Football Club. Even half of that could be somewhere around 250 to 300k pounds. You'll not be paying that. So look, I'm all on board on Neymar coming to Chelsea, because I can't see anyone else. And this guy, let's be honest, he's not bad. He's Samba settings. Samba settings.
I agree. Listen, I'm more appeased to a loan than buying him outright, because it would just. I don't think the loan suits. I think it suits all parties.
Andrew, you can't buy him outright. 5 years.
No.
But
we haven't got enough. We haven't got any hotels to offer him, first of all. But I'm a bit. When I say I'm a bit worried about his mindset, I'm not in the dressing room side. I'm just thinking. It's like I think that Champions League final really hurt him, like mentally. I think because they were the better team against Bayern. I don't care what anyone says.
They was.
They had the chances to win it. He would have won it. He would have done it. I've done it without Messi, and now he's been reduced to a side chick again at PSG now, because Mbappe's the man there. He has. He went there to be the main man.
You're right. I just never heard anyone say it.
I don't care what anyone says. He went there to be the main man. Listen.
Yeah.
I think alone is good. It's a World Cup year as well. We know how brilliant he is for Brazil.
Thiago Silva at Chelsea Football Club as well, Andrew.
Thiago Silva.
That too.
We've heard that.
And apparently they're good mates. They're very close mates.
I'm more appeased to that. I think that's more statistically going to happen than the Ronaldo deal. If I'm being honest with you, and that is a marquee signing. That is a marquee signing where I don't think it would split the Chelsea fans. I think it'd be lopsided in his favour. There'll be always there'll be doubters of whether he can do it in the Premier League. But you're right though. He's going to get.
They call him overrated because he came.
He's going to get kicked to pieces. He thought the French league was physical, which it is. You watch one of these guys be the first to say, "I crunched Neymar." You know what I mean? I did this to Neymar, and
Won't he win a lot of free kicks and penalties then?
He will. I think he'll be. I think he'll be very good. And take that number 11 shirt, put it on someone respectable, and it'll be good.
Thanks.
I just want to say, congrats to you, Chris. An amazing 70 of you in here. Like and share the video, please. Subscribe to the channel. And it's in Mrs. channel and all Twitter is in the description below. But thank you for joining us, and I'll pass it on to the real Chris.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say if we do get him for a loan or whatever, it makes sense where say Dembele stays for a season and then he comes to us next season. Raphina goes to Barcelona, so I could kind of see that Chelsea just go for a loan, pay 300k. It'd be for Chelsea because
around there.
We're not gonna pay full price like you said, Miz. We're just not. We won't do that. And PSG, I think they said they'd be okay paying part of his wage because it is quite a high fee. So
there was a percentage, Chris, that I think they were saying they'll happily pay about 75% of it. They'll pay majority of it.
Oh, 75%?
Why would they want to get rid of it?
Clearance sale. There we go.
But you know what, Chris? 75% of 700k, you're still left with
I know.
Still a good chunk. It's still a good chunk.
We left with
expensive Rolex right there.
250 or something. I don't know. So
I wouldn't mind paying seeing Chelsea pay 250. It's for Neymar, and he's got some tops.
We're going to pay probably less than that bomb we just shipped to Inter Milan anyway. So. And just right, like Ronaldo, that is brand as well, because he's going to be these guys. I don't care what anyone says. When we do this American tour, Chelsea's going to be promoted like never before in the States. Right? It's going to be explosive. We've already seen them go over to the Dodgers. Werner in a Dodger shirt.
Bro,
I
what
thought
about the
that was-
Brazilians? In Brazil,
exactly,
everyone
exactly.
will buy Neymar 10,
Yeah.
Neymar Junior number 10. They will all buy that. Do you know
That's
what I mean?
the thing.
I would
That's
buy
yeah.
just see Neymar on the back of it. It's a crazy
Neymar
name.
Neymar Junior. But I think it's got a loan. I think it's. I'm more in favour. He's going to take ages to. I don't know how he's going to adapt. That's the thing. How quickly can he adapt? That's what. Has he still got it? That's all. Has he got the drive? That's what I want to see. Because I'm doubting him at the moment.
The thing is too, like, look, Tuchel, I respect him so much. I've seen Tuchel get the best out of players that I even think were even good for this team anymore. For example, Marcus Alonso. Like, as bad as he is when he's bad, he's had some fantastic games under Tuchel ever since he's taken over. I would go and say the same for Jorginho. Wasn't impressive under Lampard. Under Tuchel, he's been fantastic. And there's other players in that list as well. With Neymar, we've heard him say that he's looking to start retiring now. He's thinking about it. He's done with the pressure that's put on him because he's Brazilian. There's greatest players in that list: Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Zico, all these players that have played before him, and the fact that he has to reach those levels, he's tired of it, and he said that. The other thing too that I think makes it so that it's favorable for us is we just had a sanction, boys. We had a sanction, and in that sanction, Chelsea have lost a lot of money. I know it doesn't affect Bowley directly, but it affects the club. And I feel like maybe bringing in a Ronaldo or a Neymar, you kind of recuperate a lot of that money that you lost during that time that you were sanctioned because of all the marketing, all the shirt sales. Like, just.
And Todd Bowley has said he's looking for new areas of making income streams. He wants to open up Chelsea to be a far greater global brand.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What more way can you think about doing it by getting someone like Neymar? Like, he will literally all over the world. Neymar is a brand. Like, there's people that follow, much like in basketball, as you probably know, Marshall. He's like a LeBron. Wherever he goes, people.
A real LeBron.
Do you mean they'll become that club's fans? So there's proper Neymar fans that are probably PSG fans will instantly become Chelsea fans. Do you know what I mean? So,
do you want to hear a conspiracy theory I've just thought right now?
Go for it.
They haven't officially released the home kit. They haven't officially released it. Yeah. Now I know the sanctions and everything like that, but there's no official release. They've done the season tickets. Pre-season tour is done. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I think it will happen. I don't think it'll get done before the start of the season though. That's the thing.
No, it'll take a while.
it could drag out till the
because we have different reports about how much PSG wants to pay. We get from like 50% to 75%. Stuff like that, and I think it'll be an amazing signing. That it would be a marquee signing. That would be the marquee signing.
100%.
But you're right. It's a complex deal. There's going to be a whole heap of conversation as to who pays what happens. He's got 5 years left. After the loan, does he come back to PSG? Is there an option to buy? Is there an obligation to buy? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, a whole heap of implications.
If I were Chelsea, I would do this. If he's successful in his loan period, let's have a loan period like we're going to do in Lukaku, and we'll pay a bit more of his wages this time. So it's more of a balanced out. So you go from 75% to maybe 50, right? You probably couldn't do that because you're going to get a lot off the wage bill anyway. Coming up soon, like a Werner wages, Kepa wages, and all the stuff like that. Get them off, like a Sar wages, get them off. So you're looking at, going up to £1 million saved in wages. But maybe they could compromise on something like that.
Yeah, and I guess to the live chat, the reason why, because I can see a few people are saying there's no way Neymar coming. Maybe there isn't, but the reason we're entertaining is this because our targets, Raphina and Dembele, they're not coming to Chelsea Football Club. Tell me one other winger that we're connected with right now. Literally none. Few people are saying Rafael Leao. I would love Rafael Leao, but I think he may stick around for one more season at AC Milan. And guess what? There's already talks Man City are after Rafael Leao. We could complain in City, one we first one out there. And I think George Mendes controls Rafael as well. So maybe something down the track, with Hakim Ziyech looking to looking to go to AC Milan. Maybe we're trying to create a relationship there, perhaps for Rafael down the track. But Rafael ain't happening this season, in my opinion. So
Like you
surely
said,
you're not going in next season with just Raheem Sterling as the new addition and everyone else the same as last season.
Yeah,
surely you're not doing that.
I love Raheem Sterling. I think he's one of the most disrespected footballers in England, let alone the world. But he can create a little bit, but he is not going to be your source of creation for everything. He's more finishing off the chances, which we need.
Bro, he won't have KDB. He won't have Bernardo Silva. He won't have Gundogan. He won't have Foden in this team. Like Raheem Sterling is going to have to work his backside off at Chelsea Football Club.
Also, getting someone like Neymar in, like I thought with Raphina or Dembele, I think you are then going to see a change in formation. Because there's, like you said, there's no way he's dropping Mount, no matter what people think. I really wish this upcoming season one thing goes. The argument about Mount, whether he starts or doesn't, or whether he's good enough in the squad, just leaves this Chelsea fan base, because whatever you think of him, Thomas Tuchel picks him regularly, okay? And you might see the best of him if we switch to a three in midfield, or if he's ahead of that two pivot, whatever. But you might see the very best of him come out. But you're right, we need someone else in there, because you can't rely on Chilwell and Reece James all the time. You just cannot do it, because we've seen it this season. They've both picked up injuries, and what the backup's like, not good enough. Not good enough whatsoever.
Marshall, just quickly, do you want to bring up that comment from Joel McCollins? Because I just want to talk a little bit about that quickly. Raphina and Dembele ain't the only wingers available. If Chelsea push for Leao, we could get him taking in that day one Hakim Ziyech. My brother, you make sense. But we are talking about what we're hearing from journalists and publications that are reporting. There is not a single report as yet. I think there might have been a long time ago about Rafael, but nothing in terms of David Ornstein or Matt Law or Nizar or Simon Johnson, all the people that report up for us. We could sit here and talk about Rafael as a fan, sure. But we are talking about what is actually going on right now in the market and what's being talked about. Neymar, as per recently from ESPN, I think Julian Laurent said that, a few other people have said that. Chelsea have contacted in regards to Neymar massively. So
we're talking about this season, not future seasons. That Leao's a future signing. We need someone now.
Exactly. You know what I mean? We could sit here and talk about Leao. We could sit here and talk about João Felix. We can sit here and talk about many other wingers. Anthony.
Yeah.
We're going to be wasting time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're talking about what is actually happening.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys brought up... go ahead, Chris. You wanted to add something?
I was going to say before, like Sterling working his ass off and everything, but like the Euros, I actually thought Sterling was England's best attacker or whatever, and Harry Kane was in that team.
Hands down.
And that's where I think where stems Sterling gets disrespected from Andrew, and he does, because he said, he plays for Man City, does that, but he plays for England and does really well for them as well. So and that's where I was thinking, Sterling can do it with this Chelsea team. He's better than all our attack, I think, as it stands right now.
Yeah.
He definitely. After that Euros and after last season, he's definitely earned a lot more of my respect, because like Andrew had mentioned, I was one of those players that, or one of the people that did not respect Sterling prior to last season. Because you remember that very clearly. I
was having a debate to you about Sterling.
There's a whole meme about it, but we'll go over that another time. Something I did want to bring up, now that I have the expert here to talk about this, and we just mentioned him, and I think it's only right that we bring it back up. Okay. No, there's a reason.
I'm not sure about expert, but someone who loves the player, probably.
I'll go on mute and let you have your loving. Hang on.
Listen, I'll read these real quick, but Fabrizio Romano, AC Milan, Chelsea in direct contact again for Hakim Ziyech. Deal negotiations started 2 weeks ago, still ongoing. On final formula, Tuchel is okay with letting him go, essentially. And then... right here, Hakim Ziyech is top of AC Milan's summer transfer wish list, who are now set to make a loan plus obligation to buy to Chelsea. They want to close the deal for a total of 25 million euros, while the Blues want to at least 5 million more. Now, the reason I bring this up for Miz, I have to ask you, now that Rafinha is basically off the table, because he's basically forcing a move to Barca. He doesn't want any club but Barca. Barca just have to match the contract agreement with Leeds that Chelsea made. Dembele seems to want to take the 40% cut to stay at Barcelona.
Yeah.
I don't look. I guess Barcelona still holds weight, even though it's been a long time since they've been that dominant football club that they used to be back in like the later 2010s and all that. With or just in history in general. With all this happening, do you think now that it's a little too premature to get rid of Hakim Ziyech?
And you know how I feel, like Andrew knows,
I know,
especially.
I know.
I'm pretty sure Marshall does as well. Chris, here's some news for you. Like, I'm a massive fan of Hakim Ziyech, but I'm not blind either. Like, I'm not one of those ones that, everything I'm biased towards. Like, if Hakim Ziyech doesn't play well, I give it to him as well. I love this guy a lot. It's sad. For me, it's so sad that this guy has not worked out. He's a baller, man. We've seen, there was a moment last season that just finished. Was it end of December, most parts of January, just before he got injured again, where he was our best attacker. Everyone was saying he was our best attacker, and he starts. There was a game against Brighton where he scored. There was a couple of matches against Spurs, where one of them where he scored an absolute screamer. There was a moment where he was going through an brilliant form, and he was playing predominantly on that right side, far right side, where Thomas Tuchel twitched the formation a little bit with four at the back, and then he reverted back to wing backs again. The thing with Hakim Ziyech is every time he gets on a bit of a momentum, a new injury comes and absolutely disrupts everything.
Or Tuchel just benches him.
Or Tuchel just benches him. Last season, pre-season, he was killing it. Then Super Cup, he was the one who scored against Villarreal. Then he got injured, and then we never saw. And then he slowly came back. I still remember Christian Pulisic and Ziyech came off the bench against Leicester, the game that we absolutely pumped Leicester earlier on in the season. Ziyech had created, I think, 3 or 4 chances in the space of 10 minutes when he came off the bench. Christian Pulisic missed a big one from him, ended up scoring one as well. And once again, he was doing well. Then he got injured again. Under Frank Lampard, he was probably Frank Lampard's best player whenever he played on that right side. He was the one who was creating all the chaos. I think he went with 3 back-to-back man of the matches as well. There was a Champions League match against that Russian team. Was it that Russian team?
Oh, the Wi-Fi password.
What?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Some team. The celebration that he did this one.
Yeah.
And then there was a Newcastle game. There was the Burnley game where he was doing really well back to back. He was killing it.
Yes.
Look, since Thomas Tuchel's come in, and kudos to Thomas Tuchel, he's killed it for us. In a short time, he's done very well. So I can't complain from that factor. But the way Ziyech has been deployed under Thomas Tuchel just doesn't work out. He's not an inside forward. Ziyech cannot play with his back against the defenders. Ziyech likes to play out wide, where he has an option to either cut in and the fullback overlaps. And that's been the other issue. Reece James has been injured a lot, which doesn't allow to get the best out of Hakim Ziyech, because Aspie is not going to be able to bomb up and down from that particular man. The whole idea why Ziyech was working so well in Ajax is you send the ball to Ziyech on that right side, the whole field opens up, because he opens up with his left foot, and the defenders then don't know, should I track the fullback that's overlapping, or should I go towards Ziyech? And then Ziyech, the other factor with Ziyech is the left fullback and the left wing back, Neres and Tagliafico, they know exactly what to do with Ziyech. They attack the box, and Ziyech whips in those inverted crosses. With us, it's like they don't know who Hakim Ziyech is. They don't know. They don't read him. And whenever he plays those inverted crosses, there's literally no one there to tap those goals in. So from that perspective, for everyone's benefit, if I'm being honest, the player is now he is 30, I think. He's gone through his prime ages, not playing enough games, and obviously there's been injuries. Thomas Tuchel, I don't think Ziyech is not the player that Thomas Tuchel needs. It's best for all parties to part ways. Let's move on. Ziyech at AC Milan will cook. He will literally
He's going to bang. He's absolutely going to bang in that league. He's going to have assist records.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have assist records, as Chris said. He's going to score goals. He's going to kill it in the Champions League. with Rafael Leao over there as well. You know, they've got
Giroud and
Tomori,
Zlatan.
Zlatan, Giroud. Like, he will do well there, man. He will do well.
And he's
And
got the
look,
pace of it as well.
he's got the pace of it as well. And look, there's no hiding the fact that he's close mates with Lukaku as well. So both of them in Milan, that's probably, you know, a good factor for him. It's best that he parts ways, man. It's best that everyone gets what they want. Thomas Tuchel needs a different character. Do I agree with it? I wish Thomas Tuchel didn't play with a back three. I really do. I wish he played Ziyech the way he needs to be played, because I think it would have given Thomas Tuchel a lot more points. So it is what it is, man. Ifs and buts.
The thing with me though is, like, as much as I agree with you, Miz, I feel like this may be, especially now where our winger links are being dwindled little by little by Barca or other clubs. Now I feel more than ever that's like, okay, Pulisic hasn't been doing that great, and he's now linked with a trade with Juve, even though it seems that it's going to go more towards just a monetary exchange. We're trying to get rid of Werner, and it seems like, you know, we don't know what's going to happen with Callum, if he's going to get loaned out or if he's staying with the club, but he's still not the level that we need him to be. The only winger that we really have, other than who's going to come in, is that Raheem Sterling. Other than him is Ziyech. That is the only one that's really capable. And now I feel like if we get rid of Ziyech and then we're stuck between, you know, we can't get Neymar. Maybe Neymar doesn't work out. We don't have any other links. It's just like, then who are we left with? You know, like, it's like...
We're left with Alan Saint-Maximin. That's what we're left with.
But that's what I mean. So I'm just like, maybe, like, as much as I agree with Miz, and even I would argue, even under 3-4-3, I've seen Ziyech had some good games. But, like, I don't know, it just feels like maybe getting rid of Ziyech might be a mistake, especially now of the way things are turning out.
The only thing is, I don't think Tuchel rates him highly.
Yeah,
really
I agree.
I just don't.
Bang on, Andrew.
Listen, big up to Ziyech. As much as I criticised him, he played part of the three. He played wing back some games. He even played part of the double pivot. I think in a game.
Oh yeah.
This
He
season.
played double pivot? I didn't notice that one.
He's the right Chelsea player at the wrong time. If he was like, if he was like in that Mata, Hazard, Oscar, even William period, he would absolutely be sensational. When he first signed up, I was so excited to have a player like that, because I thought that's what we were missing for a few years. It's like when we signed Mata, it was like that, where we were like, not like he was going to do like well, but that type of player that we missed, the X factor, the creator, and it's just not happened. But you know, like I said, I think it'll probably be a loan and an obligation to buy. But you're right, our winger situation now becomes even more perilous, because like I said, we're trying to get rid of a lot of players, and I don't see a lot being linked. So, you know, but I think he'll do well. I hope he does well. I hope he does well. He's no bad feelings for me if he goes. So I hope he does well.
I think this is why Callum is probably not going to go. He may play on that right side and create from that right. Sterling will be on the left, and we may see one of Werner or Pulisic, not both. I think either Pulisic. I will find it very strange if Pulisic leaves. I mean, American owners, Pulisic leaving.
I can't do another season of Werner. I really can't. I can't do it. It's like PTSD.
I think Werner will have to go. Werner will have to go. I can't really picture how Pulisic. Why would American owners get rid of Pulisic? Do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
That makes sense.
Like you said before, marketing. He is America. He's the poster boy for America at the moment.
Yeah.
Many believe Claudio Reyna will take over from Dortmund soon. But you're right. But our options are
and our tour is in USA as well, right, Andrew?
It
like
is.
We are
All
going
three
to.
games. All three games. Yeah. I think we're.
I cannot
West
attend
Coast,
either of them. They're too far away.
We're
But
West
yeah.
Coast, Middle, and then East Coast. So we're all spread all over.
With the Werner thing though, it's like depending how if we can sell him as well. Like I think he's valued around 30 million-ish around there, but is his contract what kind of like stops it? Because that 270k.
He doesn't want to take a wage cut.
Yeah, I can't blame him. Exactly. If you was at a club and you're on 270, and you know, like it's good wage, you good living.
This goes from 1 yard out and don't want to take a wage cut. All
I'm
right.
just saying. I said this before. Last thing was saying, but is that the only way I could see him leave was as part of a swap deal. That's the only way I could see him. But it looks like that's not even.
Or we sign for cheap and pay like part of the wage, like give to him or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know how it works, like, cause I'm not like like into that like that. But like we have to like pay it off or something to get rid of him, and that's I guess the bad thing about it. I like him as a player. Like I think he's okay, but like he doesn't suit the Premier League, so it's what it is.
Yeah, I get it. But Miz, I don't want to hold you up anymore, man. You do have to head out. So I appreciate you being here. 80 of you watching, please smash that like button. Make sure you go down in the description, check out Miz's YouTube, his Instagram, his Twitter. They're all on there. Show him some love if you haven't already. Man makes great content. Sometimes he does double uploads every single day. So this man's one of the hardest working on YouTube, and we appreciate him coming here, man. Miz, any last words you want to say before you head out, my friend?
Yeah, man, look, it's been a pleasure. It's great having a conversation with you guys. Lovely bunch of people, honestly. Happy to come over again whenever you guys want it. I love coming here and having a conversation. It's just tough at times to fit in everything. There's literally DMs where people want me to collab with them, and I wish I could collab with every single one of them, but that would mean I don't do any work for my channel. It'd be very difficult to do everything for, but this is one place that I really enjoy coming. So ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button, and whoever's watching as well after the live show, likes are what gets this going, so make sure you do that. And Marshall, Andrew, Chris, honestly, thank you so much for giving me the time over here. So it's been great.
Pleasure.
Of course, man. Thank you for coming by.
Time. Yeah, thanks for giving us your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Later, boys. See ya.
Appreciate it, man.
See you later.
What a pleasure having Miz here.
Yeah, it's
great convo.
It's just refreshing to hear that more grounded perspective view on everything. I feel like he always looks at things from a different angle. That's why he's called the other side of the coin, people.
You guys in the chat have been amazing, man. We've hit over
you guys have been fantastic too
during the stream. So thank you. And we're on 62 likes. Let's see if we can match those likes. And if you haven't done already, because I've already seen it, we've had some new subscribers as well. So we do appreciate that, guys. Marshall is working his ass off. Me and Chris just turn up. Marshall's working his ass off.
Literally.
Marshall's going to be, there's going to be major changes to this channel, which Marshall is going to oversee. Let's support him, man, and make this channel,
thank you, Andrew.
Great again.
Appreciate it.
So let's do this. But we got any other topics? If you want to put your questions in the chat, let us know. If you want to help support the channel as well, put a super chat in, stuff like that. So it's all good.
So, boys, we have to retract a few statements that we made on Wednesday.
What happened on Wednesday? No, we don't have to.
I said, Raphina, here we go. I was convinced it was going to happen.
I thought you did here we go. I swear you did.
I did say here we go because I'm like, there's no way Raphina doesn't come now at this point. It's almost as I mean, okay, look, it's not 100% over yet, but it's looking a little deep, boys. It took a complete 180. Let's read some tweets. Chelsea aren't prepared to just wait around for Rafinha to decide on his future, knowing that Barcelona are confident. Leeds United are yet to accept Barca's offer. They want a higher guaranteed fee, but are now likely to eventually match the Blues. That's coming from Ben Jacobs. Oops, hold on. And another one here from Fabrizio. Barcelona president Joan Laporta. Rafinha wants to come to Barca. We have communications and have spoken with Leeds. What's there is that there are other clubs that want Rafinha and are making proposals. And then I believe I have one more here. An agreement is in sight between Barcelona and Dembele, which again we got to talk about Dembele as well, because it was going to be either Rafinha or Dembele. And you know what? I might as well bring them both up. Who cares? An agreement is in sight between Barcelona and Ousmane Dembele over a new contract amid interest from Chelsea. Only very small economic details remain, which is the contract obligation, I'm sure, that they're talking about. Ousmane Dembele deal. Laporta says there's no deadline, but all parties feel now optimistic to reach an agreement on 2-year deal. New contract on the table until June 2024. Talks are progressing, with Xavi pushing to keep Ousmane, but it's still not 100% agreed. And I believe that's everything. Yeah, that's everything for that one.
2 years. 2 years. What?
What's 2 years? Sorry?
2 years.
They're thinking about giving him a 2-year contract.
No, I'm surprised he's thinking
Chris.
about that. I'm surprised he's thinking about it.
How can they
Because
afford
You
all
know
these
what?
players?
You know what? I don't understand. Like, look, I get that Barcelona has a history, just like Real Madrid, just like Man United, right? And
Yeah.
you could argue Man United has been dwindling a lot recently, but I don't understand that this Barcelona team. What have they done in the past 5 years that gives them this pulling power that
But there's-
players still want to go to them?
There's always been this thing with like Brazilian players, Barcelona, Madrid. It's always been the lure, no matter what. So I think it's once again. Listen to Ben Jacobson talk sport tonight. Raphina's not like that. I know what Miz has brought up, and that thing about him, like, oh, I'm only going to stay at Leeds. Ben Jacobson sort of refuted that and went, he's not saying no to joining Chelsea. It's just that obviously Barcelona's his first choice.
Who turned
But
my
they
lights
got-
off?
I don't know. It's your house,
I got
buddy.
confused.
It's your house, buddy.
All right, continue. Sorry.
You're saving that electric power. Yeah.
Put another hamster in the cage, man. Put another hamster in the wheel.
I gotta switch it to a rabbit.
But Ben Jacobs sort of refuted that when it's not as if he's like saying it's Barcelona or I'm going to go back to Leeds. It doesn't make any sense, right? It's going to be it's Barcelona first, but he's not saying no to going to Chelsea. So, but we all know that even before we put in a bid and had accepted, but we all know Leeds are not going to accept anything less than what we've put in, and also how they're going to pay it as well. They're not going to go, oh yeah, we're paying it over this, and this. We said we're going to pay. It's reported that we're going to pay a huge amount up front first. Yeah. So I'm just saying, it's like, listen, I don't really care. I don't really care if we're the second choice or anything like that. I care what the players do on the pitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do something off the pitch that puts my club into disrepute. Then or put some bad name. Then that's the problem. But if he comes here and balls out and wants to leave in 2 years, fine. We'll just sell him and then we'll just get a bigger.
That's essentially what Hazard's goal was when he played.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to go to Real Madrid the whole time, but
Yeah,
he
we
still
got,
played
what, 8
professionally.
years out? We got 7. 8, we got the best of Eden Hazard.
Yeah.
We got the
Literally.
best version of Eden Hazard. And so,
Mhm.
listen. I don't think this is over one bit. But so I wouldn't, especially Dembele 2-year deal. What's the point of signing a 2-year deal when you have to discuss it again in a year's time anyway for a new contract? I don't understand this. Plus, this joker Laporta saying, "Oh yeah, Frankie de Jong will stay. He's going to have to take a pay cut." How are you going to enforce that? He signed a contract in 2026 for a certain amount of wages. How are you going to enforce that?
Yeah.
What you know? What
The
I mean?
only
So
way you can try is force us try a sale,
you
but
can't-
then he can decide himself if he wants to go anyway.
If he hasn't breached his contract, then how are you going to enforce that? You're not.
They'd be in trouble if they did.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how that's going to happen, but
I just don't understand. The attack though. I don't understand if they want Raphina and they want to keep Dembele, and they got Fati, they got Aubameyang, they got Ferran Torres. They bought just.
They're talking about getting Lewandowski.
Yeah, Lewandowski as well. Like they got and Depay, like they got all these attackers and they're paying for, and they're wondering why we struggling with wages and everything. Like we're struggling like to downgrade players and wages. Like they're just shooting themselves in the foot every time. I swear.
I don't know if I agree with this comment right here. I mean, personally, I'm a big fan of Rafinha, and I would argue that Leeds FC is Rafinha FC. Like, Rafinha is the only reason that team is not relegated. But I'm sorry, Chris. Continue if you wanted to continue.
My point is like they have all these attackers, and how to I don't know how they're making everybody all happy. It's one, maybe it's the wages, I don't know, but like they got all these attackers, they can't all play. Like I think like you go for Aubameyang, Depay, Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, Raphina next season, Dembele keeping and Fati. Like that's so many attackers they still got, and apparently De Jong's does play attacker and midfield, so but like. He plays midfield a lot, so yeah.
Yeah.
With me, it's I agree with what Andrew said earlier about it doesn't if Chelsea isn't his first choice, it doesn't necessarily mean that if he comes to the club he's not going to play well. I think he'll play fantastically if he comes to the club. But Rafinha is so committed to Barcelona that he's willing to, according to I think you guys and many people on Twitter, he's willing to stay at Leeds another year.
I don't believe that to be true whatsoever. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't think to be true whatsoever. Because
it just doesn't make sense to me career-wise to want to go to a relegation team.
Barcelona going to be in financial trouble next year. They
Yeah.
can't. They
I
haven't
think
announced-
Barcelona's
they haven't
plan is
announced Gavi's
to.
contract, though. They haven't announced
Uh-huh.
Gavi's contract yet. You know what I mean? They haven't
Yeah.
officially announced Christian and Kessie yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Just
there's
about.
I read a tweet earlier, Andrew, that apparently they're going to be announcing Kessie Wednesday and Andreas Christensen Thursday this week. So we'll see if that's
fine,
true.
But they've got to absorb those wages.
Mhm.
Yep.
I read something. I heard something. I don't know if Christensen got a signing on fee, but I don't know what Kessie's is. They got to absorb that. They've still got to pay PK back his wages, like 50 million euros.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They haven't announced Gavi's contract, so they want to put a €1 billion buyout clause in there. They just got Lenglet out the door on a loan deal to Spurs. They didn't sell him; he's on a loan deal at Spurs. They're just telling these guys now they're not to turn up for pre-season training, not needed. But they're still on your books. They're still on your books. You're still paying these guys. You owe people wages from last season. People don't want to leave because they're worried you're not going to pay them. That's why they're not leaving. Has Griezmann actually left?
That's a very fair
I
point.
don't know if Griezmann's fully left.
Can
or
someone in
not.
the chat? Can someone in the chat let me know if Griezmann and Griezmann left Barcelona?
Oh
yet?
yeah, true.
It was only 800 grand a week.
Yeah,
So,
it's
you know,
crazy.
so-
Yeah.
You know, it's
that
funny
is
though. They
crazy.
told, I think Luis Suarez a lot less than that. They told Luis Suarez, "You're too old to play for this club. You're not gonna like last or whatever." And he went to Atletico Madrid and won the league over there. Like that's
oh,
just
he's
Barcelona.
earning too much money. That's why he asked him to leave.
Well, he said he's too old. How much? I think he's less than 800k, surely.
Yeah, but even that, they were just trying, and they got because he was like approaching the last year of his contract or something like that. So
Yeah, they say he's too old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you can't tell Frankie de Jong he's going to take a pay cut. You can't enforce that. You agree to a contract to 2026 to pay this guy 440 grand a week. Why would he take a pay cut?
I have looked. Apparently, Griezmann has left Barcelona and completed a shocking move that saw him rejoin former club Atletico Madrid.
There we go. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. But
I thought I looked it.
this Dembele thing really is 2-year deal. That makes no sense for him to sign a 2-year deal.
Well, yeah, let's actually move on to that one. So now, yeah. So what is it? A year contract with a year extension, pretty much. Don't say 2-year deal. It's pretty much what it sounds like. It sounds like the Thiago Silva deal that we made.
Yeah, but it's like a year. It's a year's contract to only discuss a new contract in a year's time.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
throughout the rest of the season.
Pretty much. It's. I don't, and he's okay. First of all, I thought his wage demands were outrageous. This is a man like I'm sure you're talented and that's great, Dembele, but you realize you're injured like 70% of the time that you've been at Barca.
Yeah.
70% of the season he spent injured. Like I don't know. I guess it's his agent that is demanding such high wages for him.
That's outrageous. The way that his agent thought he could actually ask for those wages for a guy who's been consistently injured for 4.5 years. Astounding.
Yeah.
Absolutely astounding.
It really does blow my mind. But again, now he's willing to take a wage cut to stay at Barcelona. And again, like I agree with what you're saying, Andrew. Where is all this money coming from? Like, surely they did not get all the money from the sale of all the assets that they had. Like, surely it just doesn't make sense. The only strategy I can see what they're trying to do is they're trying to build as good of a team as possible to win as much as possible, and then those winnings over time put back into the club and rebuying those assets that they sold in 10 years time, I want to say. That's the long haul, I believe. That seems to be their plan, but it's just it's mad, and I don't know. Chris, do you have anything on the whole Dembele thing as well? Also, it puts us in a very sticky situation, to be honest.
So I kind of heard it. What about like Dembele staying at Barcelona?
Yeah, taking a 40% wage cut apparently to stay, and they're still negotiating it.
I guess he loves Barcelona. I don't know, like if he's willing to take like a 0.5% off his wage, but like I just don't understand. Like I don't know, like I just don't understand how they're keeping all these attackers and adding attackers. They surely gotta leave some. Like if I was my club, and we're like got a lot of deadwood or whatever attackers, and we're still adding and keeping. I don't know like how we staying, but it's just.
Plus they were linked with Bernardo Silva today for like 100 million euros. I mean, what is this? What is this?
This is why I won't feel sorry for Barcelona if they went bankrupt and just died off.
This is like Sopranos level accounting creating. You know what I mean? It's like it's like, oh yeah, we'll just put this money here. We'll just create false records. And the La Liga president has the nerve to go after Man City and and PSG. You sort
They
your own
want
house out
Kunde
first,
as
man.
well. They want Kunde.
Yeah, they want Koundé.
They
Yeah, they
want
want
everyone.
Kunde as well.
Yeah.
How are they affording all this?
They just want to be FIFA. At
They're
this
like
point.
a fake broke FIFA. Like they haven't really got that money to spend. Like it's not really theirs to spend. They're like in debt
But
heavily.
also, isn't this what they did that got him in this whole debacle
Exactly.
to begin with?
Yeah.
They sold Neymar for 200 million, and then they paid like 100 million pounds over for like five players or something like that.
They bought Dembele
Dembele
144.
included.
Coutinho.
No, Coutinho's 144.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dembele's
yeah.
115, and Griezmann 100 and something, and it's
Yeah.
like, and then, oh my god,
It annoys me a little bit how stupid they are. It actually does. Like, if my club was doing that, I'd be very worried about my future of a club in like 5-10 years again. I'd be very worried.
You either have the nerve to go after like us and Man City, for like youth player recruitment and stuff like that, and fine, some of it needs to change and fine. But the way they have been silent throughout this whole thing on Barcelona because it's Barcelona. Imagine that was another team, another like just that the way they were.
Yeah.
I
I'd
don't
understand the Man City because they have money. Like they have money to support themselves. But like not even Man City doing this crazy. But like they just bought Ferran Torres. Ain't he good enough? Ain't he good enough?
In for 50 million.
Yeah.
50 odd million.
What happened to him? What happened to Depay?
They were struggling to pay for Depay last summer.
Yeah,
remember they were struggling to pay for him.
They're
It's
just a
like,
stupid club. I
makes
don't
no
know.
sense. This whole thing makes no sense.
They brought all these attackers to do what? Just to sit down bench on these wages and add more attackers to their problems.
Exactly. And, Lewandowski. How much did Lewandowski do you think is going to ask for a week?
Oh, he's probably gonna ask for a bunch of money.
He's got to ask 50k. He's gonna be nice.
Yeah. He's going to take a pay cut. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, like he's not gonna ask 400k. Nah, not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does baffle me, and it frustrates me too because we were all convinced that even if Raphina doesn't work out, surely we can get Dembele because there's no way that Barcelona are going to be able to afford both of them. And now we're sitting here with our dick in our hands, wondering what the hell just happened. Now Dembele is going to take a wage cut for Barca, and Raphina isn't going to move unless it's for Barca. He's not interested in any other club.
And we
except
actually
Barca.
have money. We actually have money to go.
Yeah, and we
spend.
have money.
The thing is, the Dembele links and stories to us have gone very cold, like ice cold.
Mhm.
Like, it's not even like reports of us like putting in an offer.
Honestly,
So
I
they
thought it'd be really hot now in July.
No. So they must know that he doesn't want. He doesn't. The Dembele deal is probably very true. That he's not. He doesn't want. He's going to take a pay cut, even though he would earn more with us, but he wouldn't earn what he wanted. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing.
Yeah.
So there's not even any links to us anymore with Dembele that I'm seeing. It's just
Yeah.
the Barcelona deal. So that's why I think they're holding that hope that they might go, well, they've got Dembele and they can't raise the cash. They can't raise the cash. Apparently they can't raise the cash or how these want the payments done, but we can. So that's what I keep going back to. Raphina would play for us and come to us if Barca can't raise the cash. So I think while the deal might go on for longer, I still think there's.
I don't get it because Barcelona weren't even looking at Raphina, were they, before us?
They were. They agreed.
Oh, they were. Okay.
Yeah, they agreed. Apparently, agreed personal terms. So the fact is that Arsenal and Chelsea have both actually hijacked Barcelona's deal, not the other way around. So
Yeah.
okay, fair
Arsenal first hijacked, and then we hijacked Barca's deal because they had
the funny thing, Arsenal made like comps and everything, and we just stole them and like looked them.
Well, that's why that's why if I was sad enough to make comps, I would wait until we signed the player.
Yeah, you gotta wait because there's no point. No point.
But by the way, folks, I did put the link to the stream if you guys would like to join in on our conversation. It is pinned to the top. I am ending the poll. 117 of you voted, which fantastic.
Fucked up on the poll, by the way, Marshall.
Please smash that like button too if you haven't already smashed it. Appreciate every single one of you joining us for this conversation we've been having on what's happened at Chelsea since Wednesday, pretty much. But I asked you guys if you wanted Ronaldo or Neymar, and 57% of you said Neymar, which honestly, I think I agree.
Didn't understand R7. You supposed to say CR7.
R7?
Like
yeah,
when I
you
said
put-
you fucked up, you didn't put CR7. You just
Okay.
put R7. It could be
Oh,
like.
come on. But, like, unless you live under a rock, you know I'm talking about Ronaldo.
no.
Some people might not know Marshall. Like people know him
Is
as
it Ronaldo
CR7.
7?
No one says
Wait, think
R7.
Ronaldo's
No
going to come
one
out of
has-
retirement?
You know
No
what?
one says R7.
No one has said R7. Honestly, Marshall.
Okay,
R7 sounds
look.
like a postcode. Postcode, okay?
It looked weird. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I know who
Yeah.
you meant.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to lie. It did look a little weird. I was wondering why, and now I realized why.
I
They
picked
went-
Neymar just because I saw R7. So yeah, that's my postcode.
I bet someone that went, is it CR7 or is it
Oops.
who's
Raphina 7. Maybe they're thinking Raphina number 7.
Well, it is.
Raphina's
It's the old pre-evolution soccer where they couldn't have the names on it and the faces. They just put it R7. So the CR7. So that's what
Oh, goodness me. That is my mistake, people. I was half asleep when I did it. I meant CR7. But you know what?
That's a lot
It
closer
is.
than I thought, actually. It's a lot closer than I thought. I thought Neymar
Yeah.
would win. I thought
It
Neymar would
is.
be more of like a 70-30 split, really. So.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, both of them are great players, but
Oh yeah.
there are people that say, and I don't like to compare them, but there are people that would say stylistically, if we bring in Ronaldo, he would be very similar, the type of striker that Lukaku is.
Listen, he's a better
His
finisher.
mentality's bigger.
Ronaldo.
He is a better finisher.
Ronaldo is a poacher now.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking
Mhm.
to United fans, they say link-up play is sort of not. They didn't really think it really what it was before, anyways. Link-up play, but he's more now for a finisher. Just goals, no stuff like that.
I can't expect anyone to win link up.
But I know I criticise players. I criticise him over the teams he scored against. But looking at how we didn't actually score against some of those teams last season, then I'm
Yeah.
fine with him, scoring. So
He was the
but
third top scorer in the Premier League, right?
he was
The third highest scorer, yep.
And he's
He's-
37.
And to be
38.
fair, he was right behind Heung-min Son and
Yeah.
Salah,
This
who
is
have
And
right.
Son
fantastic
and Salah in their
seasons.
prime, so
What
Yeah.
Mrs. Right about is if he did get him in and you ask him to press, he couldn't play 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
So you'd have to really go. The Champions League coming up, can we do without Ronaldo? Or
Yeah.
the league game coming up, stuff like that. Because
yeah, if it's going
with,
to
with
take
a congested season, that's what you're going to have to do now. Because you have a lot of midweek games as well before the World Cup. So
Yeah, he's in the World Cup. Yeah, he's in the World Cup.
yeah, but what I mean is we're going to have a lot of midweek games with the Champions League group game shifted up and the League Cup game shifted up as well, and even some Premier League games during midweek. So you'd have to really rotate him. But like
That's
I
going to
said,
be.
Ben Jacobs on Talk Sports said
Yeah.
Tuchel doesn't really want him. He was getting the feeling. Sorry, he was getting the feeling from the sources he had that Tuchel doesn't really want him. I can understand that because
Yeah.
look at Tuchel,
Yeah,
he doesn't
stylistically, I
really
can get
play
it.
with a really number 9. Do you know what I mean? Look at
Yeah,
his
yeah,
team.
yeah.
He doesn't do that. So it'd be interesting to see.
I would just love to do pissed off with my brother. I'd literally go and meet him up and wear that Chelsea with CR7
God.
on the back and just piss them off of it. Because United fans hate it. I know a lot of United fans. I know a lot of United fans in my team. I would go for not United. Jesus, I keep saying United. Chelsea Ronaldo top with 7 on it. That'd be amazing. It would be too
And then we
good.
give N'Golo Kante 11, right?
Give Conte the number 9 shirt. May as well. Like we did at centre back.
That's what I said last time.
Yeah, break the
Oh
curse
my
with Conte.
goodness.
Like we gotta redo the curse or something because that number 9 shirt is just dead. We gotta do it with
Yeah.
a centre back or a Kante or something to break the curse.
We just have to retire that number, I think.
I
I think
would.
let's just retire that number. Let's
Like
be the
Morata
only team in
literally
football
got
that doesn't
scared
play
of
with
that
9
number
now.
and went to 29. He got scared of it afterwards when he played the season with it. He's scared of that number. It's real. That
Just felt
curse
the
is
weight
real.
of it. All the souls just brought him down.
David Luiz tried breaking that curse with Torres, where he put his hand over his head and like did some sort of like word. He said some words. I don't know what words he said, but he's like summoning something out. But it didn't work. So his magic spell didn't work.
The other positive too about Ronaldo that I can think of would be maybe having him come into the team. As much as there might be a problem with his ego in the locker room and player power and stuff, and I do want to centralize this team around Tuchel, is for the youth when it comes to his skill. Kai Havertz learning to finish under Ronaldo, that does give me some optimism. And even Broja, which, by the way, like, I mean, we're not going to talk about it today, but I did see tweets that Broja is pretty much staying at Chelsea. There's no, West Ham do not want him. That West Ham are not interested in a swap deal for Broja and money for Rice, which I see Andrew smiling. He's probably
No, I know why they turned it down, because Chelsea would try and do something where, even if it's not now, that in the future it takes off what like there's an agreement for Rice at a certain price. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, oh yeah, well, we gave you Broha for 35 million. You know, why don't you take like 25-30 million off original price, and we'll buy him for like 70 or 60 or something like that, and stuff like that. But I don't know. Newcastle links have come out yesterday. So
oh yeah, that too.
I didn't see them. Newcastle.
Yeah, there are Newcastle links coming out for Broja. Yeah, which
I mean, so we're going to sign a French. Is it Etiquette or something like that, or Etiquette, something like that?
I think he might do alright at Newcastle.
But the price they were being quoted and the wages were now, because they're now a team with rich money, they said they're not going to break the bank. You know what I mean? Break their wage structure, which it's funny because you're going to probably have to do that if you want to be successful. So
yeah,
you're going to have to eventually.
But the experience that Ronaldo brings to this team would be very helpful for, especially since we have such a young attack. We really do. In Pulisic, in Kai and Mount. I think that'd be great. It's just the wages is an issue, and also the ego, and also the fact that Tuchel doesn't want him, which fair enough.
Well, that's only what Ben Jack is saying, that some people have told him. I don't know whether
yeah.
You know what I mean? He might think, but maybe he hasn't met Ronaldo, and he has obviously never coached him. Ronaldo's probably like,
Ronaldo even get coached at this point.
Man United dressing room and went, Jesus Christ, why didn't I just sign for City?
I'm not surprised that Ronaldo came out and said that though. I don't think it's surprising. I think it's just it's jarring to hear it.
He's a winner and his career's winding down. He doesn't want to be,
He's never been Europa League. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, that tweet's amazing. What the Europa League put out. I said he's not going anywhere.
You don't want that Europa League. I can't blame him.
Ronaldo at Europa League.
He thought he was going to get Champions League with United. Yeah, because if you look at United have, like, on paper, I think United on paper look like they have a great squad. They had Ronaldo, Sanchez, Varane, Pogba, Bruno. I guess the DM's a bit sus, but like, you got the
hold on, before you continue, Pogba's gone now, right? He went back to Italy?
He's sign for
he's gone now. So
he's gone.
They're falling apart.
They are falling apart.
They want the youngest crying at Barcelona.
And the young is crying to stay at Barca. They can't nail down the young deal. And now it looks like we might be in contention to hijack that deal. I think it's not likely. Tuchel did say he was interested. I would love De Jong. It's another option in the midfield that we freaking need, because we are not linked to enough midfielders. But
it's a fantastic, especially if the links that Juventus want to do a Jorginho deal separate as well. I mean, he's a midfielder, because I think, as much as I would like a DM, I don't think Tuchel wants to play with a stereotypical DM, a destroyer that sits there and blocks, wants a bit of a player. Whether he switches to a 3 and he still wants that, I don't know. But
I think
De Jong would be great. But that's the thing. I think we're just being used to make Man United, pay the add-ons that they want or something like that. But
fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, we'll see what happens, boys. This it's crazy. I felt like I was stressed out about last transfer window, and then this one happened, and this one's been absolutely bonkers. It's been up, down, plot twists. It's like a episode of Love Island like you guys like to watch.
Oh, I don't watch it, and I'd rather not put our transfer to Love Island.
I'd rather speak to Chris for 3 hours than watch Love Island. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
I'll pick up some lines from Love Island and show them to you.
But ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We had a few more topics to talk about, but I'd rather just save it for Wednesday and see what else unfolds for it. But
maybe we'll sign someone.
Maybe, hopefully,
Yeah.
we actually sign someone. Preseason started, right? We already had the players
yeah,
coming back.
Non like international players started.
Yeah.
yesterday, I think, so.
So
Preseason stuff for me,
Ross
pretty much.
Barkley is
Sign me
back,
up.
ladies and gentlemen.
Preseason Barcladinho, yeah, nice one.
Yeah, preseason Zidane Barkley is back, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, let's see what interesting thing happens. Ziyech is in there as well. Let's see, man. This has been a very, very interesting transfer window with all types of things.
I like it. I know we haven't signed him, but I'm not as stressed as I was last year.
Yeah.
I've just let it fall in because I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We literally can't do anything about it. But
I just appreciate that Bowley is making moves, talking to everyone at the same time, and it's.
I like that.
I do like that we're being very active, so that's a
might
plus.
Try and sign Kevin Durant as well, or Kyrie Irving. I think we're in the race for them. We're gonna trade Werner. We're gonna trade Werner.
We're gonna trade Werner for Stephen Curry or something. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all of you guys coming here and joining us. Shout out to Miz once again for joining us earlier. Make sure you check out his links down in the description below. Show him some love and support if you haven't already. He's a great content creator on the Chelsea space. Make sure you check out all the other links as well. We have Winter Surfers Twitter on there, my personal channel as well, my other links to my band, my music, and all that other stuff. Make sure to smash the like button if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss when we're going to be streaming again. Wednesday, we'll be back. I don't know what we're going to be streaming about yet. Depends on how the week goes. But you guys will enjoy it regardless. I promise you that. And leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about all the things that we spoke about earlier today. And I hope next time we speak, people, Chelsea have made a signing for at least Raheem Sterling. At least Sterling and Ake are through the door. And we can start talking about signings and such and not rumors anymore. But ladies and gentlemen, screw Barcelona.